In this video, I'll be going over the top 10 Pokemon you should use for battling Team Go Rocket grunts and leaders in Pokemon Go. Aside from raid battles, Team Go Rocket can be some of the most challenging and rewarding endgame content in this game. These battles are the only way to get the powerful Shadow Pokémon, as well as 12 kilometer eggs, which contain rare and exclusive Pokemon. Battling Team Go Rocket requires planning and the right Pokemon on your team. Thus, use this video as a guide for what Pokemon you should invest in for those grunts and Team Go Rocket leader battles. And if you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button, and leave your best Team Go Rocket battling squad in the comments down below as well. Right, so with that said, let's get right into the list. The first Pokemon on this list is going to be Entei. Now, the reason why I have this Pokemon as a top 10 Team Go Rocket battler is pretty simple. Among all of the fire types in the game, Entei has a really high TDO score. TDO stands for total damage output and is contrary to DPS, or damage per second. It reflects just how well-rounded the Pokemon is. Entei is one of those Pokemon that has one of the best TDO scores in the game. This is due to the fact that it has a pretty high attack stat, but also a really high defense stat. It also has one of the most powerful fire type charge attacks in the game, while also being bulky enough to outlast most Shadow Pokemon. That sort of well-roundedness could prove useful when going up against Team Go Rocket. Since you are able to survive longer in battles, you could spam the charge attack Flame Charge a lot more, which is a move that ramps up the attack stat even when shielded. And Entei with Fire Spin, Flame Charge, and Iron Head will be able to handle most of the various grunts on its own. If you come across a grunt with Ice-type Pokemon, Grass-type Pokemon, or even Fairy-type Pokemon, you could use Entei to completely wipe out their entire squad. Entei's high TDO is also very useful against specific Team Go Rocket leader battles as well. Since Flame Charge is easily spammable, you can use Entei to knock out both of their shields while also buffing up its attack, and wipe out the rest of the crew with it fully decked out. Now, the next Pokemon on this list is going to be the Rock-type Pokemon, Rampardos. Contrary to the previous Pokemon on this list, Rampardos is more of a glass cannon. It deals an insanely high amount of damage, but is not as tanky as most others on this list. However, Rampardos has incredible fast attack rock-type damage, so any flying-type or fire-type Shadow Pokemon will get knocked out pretty quickly. The other nice thing about Rampardos is the type coverage this Pokemon can bring. On top of having both Zen Headbutt and Smackdown, it can come with the charge attacks Flamethrower, Rock Slide, and Outrage. Out of these moves, Smackdown, Rock Slide, and Outrage will be your best setup. You can deal an insane amount of rock-type damage with Smackdown and Rock Slide, while also dealing with hard-hitting dragon types with Outrage. Overall, this Pokemon is phenomenal for Team Go Rocket battles. The next Pokemon on this list is going to be the Water-type legendary Pokemon, Kyogre. This Pokemon needs no introduction. When it comes to bulky, high DPS water types, there is no better Pokemon than Kyogre. When it comes to fire type, rock type, and ground type Team Go Rocket battles, Kyogre is by far the best Pokemon to use. Having both Water Gun and Surf can allow you to burst down the opposing Shadow Pokemon. Kyogre's bulky defense stats allows it to survive long enough to take on all three of the Shadow Pokemon as well. Needless to say, this Pokemon is extremely valuable against Team Go Rocket. It's definitely worth maxing out one for these battles alone. Next up, we got the Ground-type and Dragon-type Pokemon, Garchomp. Now, this Pokemon has some of the same benefits as Kyogre. It can be a very powerful Ground-type or Dragon-type attacker, and it comes with a plethora of different resistances. You can use Garchomp to easily handle Team Go Rocket battles that are using Fire-type Pokemon, Electric-type Pokemon, and Steel-type Pokemon. It is extremely powerful against most Team Go Rocket leader battles as well, as you can spam its charge attacks to remove their shields. After you are able to do that, you can burst down their Pokemon with ease, as Garchomp deals a ton of damage from its attacks. I would suggest setting up your best Garchomp with the fast attack Mud Shot and the charge attacks Earth Power and Outrage. Use Mud Shot and Earth Power against Shadow Pokemon that are weak against ground types, and use Outrage for some high neutral damage. This could be the one Pokemon you could use for a majority of Team Go Rocket battles. Now, the next Pokemon on this list is going to be the Dark and Flying type legendary Pokemon, Yeveltal. Among all of the Pokemon on this list, Yeveltal is probably the most overlooked and the most underrated. This is because when it comes to Dark types, most players would opt to use Darkrai instead. Yeveltal, however, is going to be just slightly more useful for Team Go Rocket battles compared to Darkrai, and that is because it has more type coverage and it is slightly bulkier. It may not deal as much damage per second as Darkrai, but this Pokemon will have more utility. Okay, now coming in next on this list is going to be the Electric and Dragon type powerhouse, Zekrom. This legendary Pokemon is going to be one of your most useful Pokemon when it comes to Team Go Rocket battles. It has a plethora of different moves that are quite effective at bursting down Shadow Pokemon, and it has incredible bulk and resistances. Overall, Zekrom is somewhat of a cheat code when it comes to Team Go Rocket. It has a good amount of well-rounded stats that allows it to survive a ton of Shadow Pokemon, and it also deals enough damage to beat several of them. You can use Charge Beam to chip away the first Shadow Pokemon, then use the built-up energy to nuke down the final two with multiple Wild Charge attacks. This has been the way I've defeated Water-type Grunts and Team Go Rocket leaders with ease. If you want a Pokemon that is good against Team Go Rocket and other areas of the game, then Zekrom is definitely the one to get. You just need to watch out for Ice types when using this Pokemon, but Water types and Flying types will get completely melted down. Next up, we have the Steel type Pokemon, Metagross. This Pokemon is one of the most popular for a reason. When it comes to Steel types, Metagross is extremely versatile and one of the biggest threats against Fairy types. The reason why I included this Pokemon on this list is pretty simple. It is phenomenal against a good majority of Team Go Rocket grunts and leaders. When it comes to Fairy types, Ice types, or Steel types, Metagross can be a very strong Pokemon to use. This is because this Pokemon has one of the hardest hitting Steel type move combinations in the game, with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. You can also give it a strong advantage against Steel type Shadow Pokemon, with Earthquake as its second charge attack. One thing that really makes Metagross so useful is just how strong it can be against most of the Team Go Rocket leaders. Use Meteor Mash to burn through both shields, then nuke down the opponent with Earthquake. It's a foolproof way to defeat most of the Team Go Rocket leader lineups. And as I mentioned earlier, Metagross is probably one of the best Pokemon to use against Fairy types. Since the Fairy type Team Go Rocket Grunt is one of the hardest variants, having a Metagross team ready to go will most certainly benefit you. Now, another non-legendary Pokemon comes next on this list. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the Ice and Ground type Pokemon, Mammoth Swine. This Pokemon is extremely powerful against most Team Go Rocket battles. It can handle a wide variety of different Pokemon types, and it has a lot of bulk and offensive power. Unlike Metagross, Mammoth Swine isn't contingent on its Community Day exclusive move. You can bring a Mammoth Swine with Powder Snow, Avalanche, and Bulldoze, and you will be good to go. It has incredible versatility, and it's very powerful against most of Team Go Rocket's arsenal. You can easily defeat Ground type, Steel type, Flying type, and Dragon type Shadow Pokemon with Mammoth Swine alone. Next, let's move on to a Pokemon that most players probably use for Team Go Rocket battles already. Coming in at number 2, we have Lucario. This Steel and Fighting type Pokemon is excellent at nuking down some of the most trivial and common Team Go Rocket grunts. One Shadow Pokemon that Lucario is slightly good against is of course Shadow Snorlax. While any Pokemon in your collection would struggle against it, Lucario at least has a higher chance at defeating it. It proves its effectiveness against Shadow Snorlax with the move combo of Counter and Power Up Punch. But Lucario is pretty good against most other grunts and leader battles. You can basically speedrun through normal type grunts, and using Lucario against Shadow Tyranitar is like using a cheat code. Since Power Up Punch is spammable, you can break through both shields within the leader battle, and then burst through any Dark or Rock type Pokemon that the leader could use. Okay, so now we have reached the number 1 Pokemon to use against Team Go Rocket. But before we talk about that Pokemon, let's go over some honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is going to be Conkeldurr. This fighting type Pokemon is a very sizable alternative to Lucario, and I struggled to decide which one I wanted to include for this list. Thus, I settled on having it as an honorable mention. Much like Lucario, Conkeldurr is very strong against Shadow Pokemon that are weak against fighting types. It's basically a beefed up version of Machamp that deals slightly less damage. Because of its bulk and decent moveset, it can be a reliable fighting type against Team Go Rocket. The other honorable mention is going to be the flying and fire type legendary Pokemon, Moltres. This bird is insanely useful against Team Go Rocket. It can destroy any bug-type grunt, and can also handle some leaders who use Pokemon that are weak against flying or fire types. What makes Moltres so useful for Team Go Rocket battles is the same reason why it is useful for raid battles and gym battles, in that it is one of the most versatile. It can be a top tier fire type or a top tier flying type. Alright, and with that said, let's finally talk about the number 1 Pokemon against Team Go Rocket. Coming in at the top spot is going to be Mewtwo. Probably the most feared Pokemon by Team Go Rocket is of course the most powerful and useful Pokemon in the game. Mewtwo is built to take down Team Go Rocket's grunts and leaders. Considering just how much neutral damage this Pokemon deals, you could use it to take on most of the various grunts. Certain leaders will also be vulnerable to Mewtwo. You just need to watch out for any super effective damage they might deal. If you can take out both shields, you can switch to Mewtwo and clean them up. You just need to be careful because the leaders tend to use Pokemon like Shadow Houndoom or Shadow Tyranitar. Outside of these, Mewtwo should be formidable enough to deal with their entire roster. Without question, Mewtwo is well deserving of being at the top of this list. It's just that good. Alright, and that will conclude this list video, but I would love to know what Pokemon you are using against Team Go Rocket. Was there a particular Pokemon that's really good against them that I missed? Let me know down below. And if you end up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then be sure to check out the links in the description below. For all of my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-games friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way, like with remote raids, then do consider becoming a patron on my Patreon. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.